Hi, today we'll be covering about permutations and combinations. So, what's permutation? Permutation, to make it simply, is just the ways of arranging things. You may be wondering, why should I learn permutation? It's because you need to learn permutation for gaming. For example, you're playing chess. So in chess, you may be using the number of possibilities or number of ways to solve a problem. Sometimes in making timetables and sometimes to find the number of solutions to solve a problem. So this is why we should learn permutation. So let's come to our question number 1. Task 1. Find the number of arrangement for 5 different boxes. So 5 different boxes over here. You have to remember it's 5 different boxes. So 5 different boxes means it could be a red box, a yellow box, a green box, a blue box and a black box. So you can arrange these 5 boxes in a different ways. So in permutation you have to remember that it's always about arrangement and it doesn't care the same arrangement comes again in a different way. So let me show it how. But before answering the question, let me teach you something simple. Now for example you're having just 3 boxes. Remember you're just having 3 boxes. So these 3 boxes are your black, blue, yellow, and these 3 boxes are should to be arranged in different ways. So now I have 6 possibilities of this arrangement, which is a black, blue, yellow, yellow, blue, black. But look at here, black, blue, yellow is an arrangement. Now look back here, the last bottom one, it's the same thing, yellow, blue, black, it's just the inverse of it. But remember in permutation we don't care about the ways you arrange, it's just that how many possibilities you can get, though it could be upside down the same thing. Yeah, you may look at here, the black, blue, yellow is the same thing, and here is they're having the same here, yellow, blue, black, it's just the inverse of it if you look. But in permutation we don't care about how is it, we just care about the arrangement. So now let's go to the question. So now let's go to the previous question where we had 5 boxes. So 5 factorial over here you have 5 boxes, you're arranging the 5 boxes in different ways. You can get 120 ways of arranging the boxes, and over here I will show you how to do 5 factorial in an easy way. Just remember now you're having 5 boxes in the hand, and first when you're having 5 boxes you're placing your first box, which is number you have 5 boxes now. Before placing your first box you have 5 boxes. After placing your 5 boxes, your first box you have 4 boxes balance, so you have the chances of choosing 4 boxes, so put a 4 there. Then after putting your fourth box you have 3 boxes in your hand, so now you have 3 ways of putting the box, so you're putting a 3 here. Then after putting a third block there you're having 2 boxes in your hand, and now you have 2 ways of putting the box, so you put a 2 here. After putting a second box there you have 1 way of putting the box, so it's just 1 here. So if you time this, 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, you will get 120. So it's the same thing, 120 ways of arranging the boxes. So now let's go to a different question. So now let's go to question number 2. We have numbers 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and you're asked to form a 4-digit number, but the number should be an even number. So first clue of this question is the even number part, and the second precautionary step is the 4-digit number. Remember there should be 4 digits. And so what's even number? Even numbers are 2, 4 and 6. So now let's look how do we do this question. So now let me explain how did I do this. Okay, now we have three even numbers which are 2, 4 and 6, and we have 5 digits which are 2, 4, 3, 2, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So just remember, first we have to fulfill our case. Our case is to form a 4-digit number which is an even number, and the first problem, and second problem is without repetition. So without repetition, now let's look here. I have to put a number here. I have to remember in my first case I need to make a even number. So now let's find the possibilities of making a number with 2 as an even number. So after placing 2 at the last place, I have 4 boxes, 4 numbers balanced. So I can put 4, 3, 2, and if I multiply I will get an answer. The same goes with 4 and 6. So by doing this, now I'm able to find out number of ways to form a 4-digit number without repetition, and it's an even number. So always remember to fulfill your case. So my first case now is here to do an even number, to make an even number. So I found out what's an even number. So this is 2, 4, 6, and always remember a even number. To form an even number, you always have to look at the last place, because that's why it's divisible by 2 or any number. So the last place should be an even number here. And the rest of the numbers you could arrange it by yourself. So now let's look this same case but without repetition. Form an even number with 4 digits but without with repetition. So let me show how do we do that question. Before handling that question, let me explain you something over here. Remember, now I am putting 2 in my box there. Now I am placing number 2 as my even number. So now balance I have 4 numbers, which will be 3, 4, 5 and 6. That's the 4 numbers. So after I'm having the 4 number, I'm putting a number there at number 4. So balance had 3 numbers, then I had 2 numbers. So this is how I'm going to do this question. I did this question. So let me do the next question for you, which is forming a 4 number but with repetition, but it's an even number. So let me show you how I do the question. So in this question, we have to form 4 numbers and it's an even number and it's with repetition. So let's look here. So now as usual, fulfill your case. Your case is to form an even number. So even number I have 2, 4 and 6, and I place it in the last place here. So 1, 1 and 1. Okay, so now after placing the number, I still have 5 numbers because I'm said that I could use repetition. So I still have 5 numbers. So it's 5 times with 5 times with 5, and here goes the same, 5 times with 5 times with 5. So this is how we do the question with repetition, without repetition, even number and odd number. So sometimes in the case if you get a question and they ask you to form an odd number, remember what are odd numbers are. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 3, 5. These are odd numbers. So odd numbers are 1. So let's go to task 3. Task 3 is forming a 4 people team from 9 students. This question isn't that challenging, but most of us feel that this question is hard. So let me show you the number of ways of forming a team of 4 people from 9 students. So this is how we do the question. 9 factorial 4. So that means I only have 4 seats, 4 people. Only 4 people can be in the team, and I have 9 students. So now let me choose the first to fulfill the first seat for a team. So in choosing the people for the first seat of team, I have 9 people there. After choosing the first person, I have balance 8%. After choosing the second person, I have balance 7%. After choosing the 7%, balance have 6%. So it's 9 times 8 times 7 times 6. You will get 3024. So this is how we do this question. It's not that challenging, it's easy. So now let's go to the next part, which is combination. Many of us have a problem with combination and permutation. We can't differentiate it. So combination is just choosing only. You choose something out of something, but not arranging. You don't care about the arrangement. Always remember, do not care about arrangement in combination. They are not important. So now let's go to the next question for combination. Choose 3 box out of 3 box. I think you have heard the question in permutation, right? But in permutation I asked you about the number of arrangement. Over here I'm asking you to choose. Remember, choose. So choose 3 box out of 3 box. So 3 choose 3 equals to 1. Huh? You may be wondering why. Yes, in combination we do not care about arrangement. It is only the same thing. So let me show you how is it different from permutation. In permutation, it's like if I ask you to arrange three boxes ABC, ACB, CBA, BCA, BAC, CAB. So yeah, I asked you to arrange 3 boxes. You will have 3 factorial, which you are having 6 types of arrangement. But over here in combination, we only asked to choose. So choose 3 boxes out of 3 boxes. Though it's all these different ways of choosing, but in combination it's just like choosing. In permutation you choose and arrange it. So you're just choosing it. So you only have one type of choosing way. So that's the difference between combination and permutation. So now let's go to our last question. And in this question you are asked to choose 5 questions out of 7 questions in examination. So 7 choose 5, you have 21 ways of choosing questions. So I think so now you guys are clear between the difference between combination and permutation. So now let me give my final tip. So here are my final tips. Firstly, look for the keyword. What does the question mean? The question says about choosing, it's always about combination. And if it's about arrangement, orders, such words, it's always about permutation. And then look for your exceptions. Sometimes you're given cases like find form an even number like first or form an odd number. So always look for the exception and always remember what are the exceptions are. So by following the exceptional cases you may solve the problem very easy. And lastly, solve the problem using the correct terms, which is combination or permutation. So that's all from me. Thank you. So let's wrap up the section and good luck for your finals. Bye.